everyone, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to The Conservative Poet with me, Amanya. If you're new here, I ask for you to stay a while. If you enjoy the program, subscribe to the channel, share it, like it, because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. So, from his speech, you can tell what everything was going to be about. So I knew this show was going to be political, and it did not disappoint. So everybody that went on that stage and gave a speech, just about all of them had a political point to make. And that was from all of them, starting with the youngest one in the crowd. And her name is Ayanna. And we're going to pull her up, and you're going to watch how her performance went.
An icon, those are some big shoes to walk in. Speaking of some icons, Dr. Mae Jemison, Henrietta Lacks, Michelle Obama, to name a few. I'm not the future, I am now. It is... It is my hope with my organization, with my platform, that I will continue to amplify my voice for women and girls all over the world. Continue to make that space for them and give them a seat at my table. Little girls, you will always have a seat at my table. I see you, I support you, and I got you. In closing, let us remember Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini was beaten and killed by Iranian women in Iran while in police custody.
Watch this, and I could not help but look at this little girl and just think, this child is being groomed for something bigger. And on the television program, before they did her introduction, they kind of built it up to who she was, to who she is. Now, this young girl is in medical school. I think she's like 14 or 13 years old. And what really was scary for me was that when Dr. Fauci was one of the people in the clips, and I said, oh my God, Dr. Fauci, this is one of the people that's in this girl's life. And she's looking at Dr. Fauci as a doctor, as a person of integrity. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is terrible. I feel horrible for this girl, and whatever is going to become of her life, like, this is not good. And so with her standing there, cutting her hair as in some sort of, I don't know, protest, or I don't know what that was really all about. But this is the future. This is how they're grooming these children to become whatever it is that they want them to be. I mean, I pray to God that the Lord will really touch her. She says God is everything in her life. I really do hope that's true, and that she will find the light in the middle of the darkness that she's in, with that room full of darkness, full of demonic spirits, that she will find her way, she will find the light. I pray this over her life. Wow. Next up on the icon is the Philanthropy icon, and Robert Smith got that award, another billionaire in the room. Don't know what his woman looks like, but that's another billionaire in the room. So let's give a listen to what he has to say.
It has been a journey. It started with my parents, two school teachers, in a beloved community in the other America. We grew up without much wealth in dollars, but wealth in love. And I remember as a child watching my mother write a $25 check to the United Negro College Fund every month for over 50 years. And just as she cared for our family, she knew how important it was to give Black children a pathway to education.
I kind of find it interesting. This is the billionaire that he paid for scholarships for about 300 Black students. So I get that. But what about what's happening to the schools? So why are they not all up and raw about starting the children off on the right foot by putting them in the proper schools, by giving them a choice in school, to leave the schools that they're not learning, to leave the schools where they're not thriving? It starts at the lower level. I'm grateful that you've helped 300 students out, and I'm sure you've helped a lot more out throughout the school system. And it's the majority of Black students that's disproportionately not being cared for in these systems. They're the ones not learning. They're the ones in neighborhoods where the school is failing. So why not support school choice, where to help put more charter schools, because we can't really take on the government because the government is too big. But how about getting more charter schools on the ground to help those students starting at the lower level? So once they start to get up there, they will be able to get scholarships. They will be able to get these things that they need in order for them to succeed. It's a thought. President Donald J. Trump, a corporate man, when he was the president, he gave billions to the HBCUs. He gave billions in one shot. Something Obama didn't do, something Joe Biden didn't do. None of them did it. Trump did it. He gave to the Black universities. It's true. There's a thought. President Donald J. Trump, a corporate man, when he was the president, he gave billions to the HBCUs. He gave billions in one shot. Something Obama didn't do, something Joe Biden didn't do. None of them did it. Trump did it. He gave to the Black universities. It's true. There's a thought. President Donald J. Trump, a corporate man, when he was the president, he gave billions.
As important as it is to ensure we focus on education and enablement of our community to participate in this economy, it's ever so important that we make sure all of our children are participating in this next generation, which is a digital generation. We must teach them all to code. We must teach them all how to engage in these digital platforms. And let's make sure that Elena isn't the only one that we point to, but we have millions of our children who are in that exact same enlightened, blessed position.
I would bet money that Elena's parents had her in a school where she was able to learn, and that's why she's in the position that she's in now. Next up, it's the business icon, Don Peebles, the business icon of the year.
Awards Committee and my fellow honorees. I also want to thank my wife, Katrina, for supporting my dream and being with me every step of the way for 32 years.
Yeah, isn't that lovely? Very, very lovely indeed. Sorry, Sheryl.
For being an amazing mother to our children and being my partner in life. A very special thank you to my friend and mentor, Byron Allen, and for his unrelenting drive to change America for us all. My friends, we are fortunate to live in a country where we can dream. I'm a dreamer. And as a young boy, my parents encouraged me to dream, and my mother encouraged me to dream big. If I represent anything, it is the great possibilities of the promise of America. America, while imperfect, is a country where you can have big dreams, a place where, with hard work and a bit of luck, you can make those big dreams come true. It may not be easy, especially if you're black, but when you set your mind to do something and you are committed to success and unwilling to fail, you will achieve great success.
That is one of the truest things. I'm actually glad he said that. We don't know where he's going to go from here, but from this point, he really nailed some key points. That personal responsibility, it's up to you, the individual, to work hard. First, you got to dream it up, plan it out, work hard, and make it happen. It might be tough because of whatever situation, circumstances. This is for everyone. Everybody has their issues. Everybody has problems. And yes, it's difficult for minorities. It's difficult for blacks. But if you work hard, look at a room full of black people who's able to make it. If you all can make it, then I can make it, then you can make it, then she can make it, then he can make it. Because we work hard, because we have a dream, because we're dedicated, and because we're disciplined. It's not because the man is keeping us down. Most of the time, we're that enemy within ourselves keeping us down because we're not disciplined. We don't have our schedules together. We don't have a plan together. And we fall short. But I'm glad he mentioned that. Now let's go back in.
We must remember to tell our kids the only limitations that there are those that we allow others to impose upon us or that we impose upon ourselves.
No claps in the room. Making all these awesome points. You can barely get the clap.
We are living in challenging times. Despite the global reckoning that was by the murder and the videotape of that murder of George Floyd, there has been little advancement of the democratic process in terms of social equity and economic inclusion and empowerment for Americans. Now let's remember, America is a capitalistic democracy, and the pillars of our democracy rest upon capitalism. If capitalism is inequitable, our democracy cannot endure. The pathway, think about that.
Yo, this man can't get the room to move with nothing. They're barely clapping, and he's talking capitalism. He's talking about it. This is where it is. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to clap for that.
The pillars of our democracy rest upon capitalism. And if it's unfair, then our nation cannot endure. We know that the pathway to wealth runs through entrepreneurship, and the fuel to run the motors of business. We can no longer accept this economic oppression. Now, economic injustice doesn't just surface at various times. It's constant, it's continual, and it's a knee on the neck of every black American each and every day, and it is the greatest obstacle in our quest for equality. I've made economic inclusion and economic empowerment for black Americans my mission for the rest of my life.
Power to the man! Power to the man!
And you may ask me why, but it's because I love my people.
Do you love the women too? I don't think so. Next up is Justice Benjamin Crump. Let's take a listen to the powerful justice and his voice.
Not only a friend, but a mentor, and really, he believes he's my co-counsel. I mean, on every important case I have, when we filed the lawsuit, whether it's for Botham Jean, that young, brilliant brother who was in his apartment in Dallas, Texas, eating ice cream, and the policewoman allegedly come in the wrong apartment and shoot and kill him, and then this white policewoman claims self-defense, even though she's in his apartment. And so I filed a lawsuit for $100 million, and one of the first phone calls I get is Byron Allen telling me, Crump, hey man, you Black America's Attorney General, you asking for too little. You need to add a zero. It need to be $1 billion. And I understand so much of what Byron is saying, because it really is about raising the value of Black life in America. And so I thank you, Byron, for your continuous counsel. You did it with Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Terrence Crutcher. Every time I would file like clockwork, I knew Byron was going to call me and challenge me to ask for more and get more for the value of our lives.
So right now, I'd like to call on to Byron Allen. I'd like to call on you. He's naming all of these, cases that became so huge. But every single day, Black boys are being killed in Chicago. They're being killed in these inner cities. Are those phone calls being made by you then, Byron? Are you calling up the guys in the hood? Are you showing up to them and telling them you need to do better for your people, for your community? No, not then, right? And this guy, this lawyer, Crump, is he out there, down there with the gangs in Chicago and these other inner cities? Are you down there, Mr. Crump? Are you out there trying to help these boys so they can stop killing each other? I don't think so.
Look at my wife and my beautiful daughter, Brooklyn. I think about...
Hey, there's one of those Black men in the room that actually has a Black wife. There's a Black man in the room with a Black wife. How wonderful.
Would give me extra incentive to go in courtrooms, not only in the court of law, but also in the court of public opinion, and fight not only to raise the value of Black life, but to raise the value of Black humanity, and especially raise the value of Black culture, because it is that Black culture that will inspire our children for generations to come. And when you think about it, what we're really doing is fighting to make a better world, give our children a better America, where George Floyd has an opportunity to take another breath without a police officer putting his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds while he says, I can't breathe 28 times. And we're trying to give...
He is so passionate about the life of George Floyd and the death of George Floyd. I wonder, George Floyd was in a different place at a different time. If he wasn't out there breaking the law, higher than a kite, breaking the law, I think George Floyd would still be breathing this day. He would still be alive and probably causing havoc, more havoc, because that's all he did his whole life, was cause havoc.
Our children a better world, a better America, where Breonna Taylor, that queen, gets to sleep in peace.
He said Breonna Taylor, that queen, gets to sleep in peace. What was her life like? I'll have to look her up to see what her life was like. because I don't think she was a queen.
A better America where Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia can run free without being lynched for jogging while black. Not in 1940, not in 1950, April Ryan, but in 2020, in our day. And we have to give our children a better world, a better America where all of them have an equal opportunity at life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh my God, this man has passion in him for life. So, Mr. Crump, Justice Crump, I ask you, have you brought this passion to the Planned Parenthood? The Planned Parenthood that murders 50% of the black population? Have you taken this fight to the Planned Parenthood, Justice Crump? Do the black babies' lives, do they not matter, Justice Crump? Tell me, Justice. Do the black babies' lives don't matter? Do black babies don't matter?
Comes a time when one must take a position because their conscience tells them it is the right thing to do. I submit to you at the first annual Grio Icon Awards that it is the right thing to do to stand up for our children's future. It is the right thing to do to speak up for our children's future. It is the right thing to do to fight for our children's future. Because if we don't fight for our children's future, we can't expect nobody else to fight for our children's future. Until hell freezes over. And then we got to be ready to fight on the ice. Because that's how important our children have to know that we believe in their future. Reverend Allen and I talk all the time about what we have to do to make sure our children believe Black Lives Matter, where it can't be lip service. It has to be action. So thank you, Byron Allen. Thank you, Grio, for telling our children a constant reminder that we believe in their future and we're willing to fight for their future. And if need be, we are willing to die for our children's future. God bless you. Thank you.
Very passionate man. Very passionate indeed. You have to do the right thing. Your conscience has to do the right thing. Your conscience, is it right? Is it right to abort babies in the womb? Is it right to kill young lives? Is it right? Justice, I'll leave it to you. Is it right? The finale of the show was with the women of the night, who I didn't really focus too much on. I really wanted to just focus on the men and what they had to say. But here are the women and their performance at the end of the night. And it's this is actually one of my favorite songs. I loved this song when I was a kid. I'm Not Your Superwoman. And I got a feeling that this song, that it was picked for a reason. It's not because they're Superwoman, but I believe, my opinion, is that this song was chosen as, at a jab at the justice system for Roe v. Wade being overturned. So we're going to play a little bit of it, and then we're going to wrap this video up. I'm not your superwoman.